I wanted to shortly cover this topic about contradictions because I feel like a lot of people struggle with it. And a lot of people have difficulties with the contradictions within themselves. But as humans, we are all walking contradictions. We are extremely layered in who we are, and our essence is very fluid. The biggest problem that people experience is trying to fit this broad layered essence within one fixed box. That is a thing that always felt so suffocating to me. We create these boxes for ourselves where we withhold ourselves from the fullness of our being. We withhold ourselves from the different layers that we have. And that is what creates problems because we think that integrity equals consistency, which it does in many aspects, right? But when it comes to your full essence and the different layers that you have as a human being, you begin to reject parts of yourself. So your desires begin to conflict with themselves and you try to mold yourself in this one thing just to make sense to others. And I'm sick of it because I was literally thinking I am the biggest contradiction that you can come across. And I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. Because I accept, I admit, and I allow myself to be fully human with everything that comes with it. And I have different parts within myself. And it's my responsibility to make sure that they can coexist in harmony within my system so I can live in peace. And I was literally thinking this, I am not going to play that game. I am not going to make the boxes of society my personality. I'm not doing it. Because you cannot mold me in one box. And I don't want to be in one box. How boring is that? And that is it. If you're going to tell yourself, yeah, but I am that. Of course, you need like a basic value system. But other than that, allow yourself to be fluid. Because there will always be different parts within yourself. And you were never meant to be a linear being. That is not what it means to be human and to be fully alive in this dimension. I was also thinking about the fact that all the times in my life that I pushed parts of myself away and I didn't give them space to simply be because I wanted to mold myself in a safe box so I would be digestible for others, I would become very unhappy, very angry. I would become very resentful towards the world, right? But in the end, you do it yourself. Okay, we live in a socially constructed environment and it is challenging, but we have the power to say like, no, I step out of that construct and I create my own way of being because I have every right to. I am the biggest contradiction that you can come across. Like, it is like I have so much love in my heart, like, and I have so much compassion and softness, and I finally found the power of vulnerability and being able to live with your heart wide open and let love in. And even if you take a risk, I would rather live this way than any other way because I love love. I love life. I love people. Like, I can be so happy. Like, for the longest time, I couldn't feel anything else but depression and pain and darkness and anger, you know? And then I did like deep inner work and I start to feel everything, like in the extremes. Actually, I've always been this person. I feel so deeply, but also the other side of things. The polarity, it goes both sides. And that is the thing, the polarity and the contrast, that are the exact things that make reality possible. So why wouldn't we honor them? Because I also have a big history of, you know, knowing the depths and the darkness of life. Like, for real, I have that still in me and I can access that. If you respect me, I will meet you with the same respect. If you disrespect me, I will top your disrespect. because I can still access that energy within me. I rather not to, because I master my own being. And I know that I have the power to choose. That is the beauty of it, you know? That is the thing. I'm the most loving person that you can come across, even if my looks wouldn't necessarily give it away. Like, I have all those things. I am all those things. I can get pissed as fuck. And I can be super soft and vulnerable and open. And, you know, I can see things and completely tear up, you know, because of the beauty of the world and the beauty of people. And I can really, it's like, I can feel it with every cell of my body. And I can be so proud of people that I don't even know, right? And I can be so full of joy and love and softness. And if I simply look at things, I can tear up. Because I opened all the channels within myself and I can finally feel the full range of what it means to be human. And I feel all the emotions, all the layers of what it means to exist in this world. And it's so beautiful. And at the same time, I despise people. Like, if I think of certain things that are happening in the world and certain actions of people and the way they think and they move to life, I despise them. I would like punch them in the face without any hesitation. That's also me. I choose not to most of the time if there's no threat. But there are parts within that you definitely don't want to meet. Still today. Still today. Yes. I can access it all. And I can go as low as you want and meet you at the exact same level you want to be met. And I rather not to. And even the people that completely disgust me, I understand that most behavior comes from disconnection. I can understand it on a deep level. But it doesn't mean that their behavior is not repulsive to me. Just their behavior, like, I'm disgusted by a lot of things and a lot of people in this world. I truly am. And at the same time, I know where it comes from and I can see it for what it is. I can perceive it from different levels and have a complete different opinion on it. Like, it's not black or white to me. And at the same time, I see the beauty in the world every day. Luckily, social media isn't only bad. Like, I've disappeared from it for 5 years for several reasons. But now I come back to it, I also see a lot of beautiful things. It is and. It is not either or. And I'm not ashamed of that. I am not ashamed of any part within myself. I'm actually quite content with it. I have no problems with it at all. With not any part of myself. Like, you have a lot of people now that take pride in, I'm love and light. Like, to me, it was maybe 1% of my reality, and it's very beautiful and very real, and I finally know what it is. Thank God. But I also know that it is not the reality of this world, not the only reality. Not the only reality. So why would I reject that? I just have to be aware of that it's still here and make a conscious decision of how I choose to live my life. That is self-mastery. Being able to carry all parts of yourself. Welcome everything in. And then see where you want to place them. That is self-mastery. Rejecting parts of yourself, that is what creates the problem. You are rejecting your complexity and forcing all parts within yourself to agree with each other. That is what creates the chaos, not the contradiction of itself. Because that is human nature. Consistency isn't necessarily sameness. It is being in alignment with what feels true for you at any time, at any given moment. And that truth constantly evolves. Allow yourself to evolve and to be fluid. Because the harsh judgment comes from the fact that you put yourself in a box, and when you want to step outside of it, you judge yourself or you are ashamed of yourself because you deny your own fluidity, your own humanness. When you deny your own contradictions, you become predictable. But when you call all parts of yourself in, you become powerful. Because if you allow yourself to look at every part of yourself and accept that all those parts deserve attention, so now you become the conscious steward of all those parts within yourself, then you become powerful. Some things aren't meant to be justified. You just have to live it. As long as you have your own value system in place and you know who you are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change your perspective. You are allowed to change your truth. You are allowed to evolve and to explore the complexity of what it means to be human and to allow yourself to come more and more home to yourself. You don't have to justify every contradiction. Some things are just here to be lived and not to be explained. Stop shaming yourself or suppressing things within yourself because they will always come up. And if you reject parts of yourself, they will get forced to come out in a way that is out of your control. So take back the wheel and stop wanting to make sense to others. As long as you have your value system in place, you know who you are and you lead from the heart, you are doing more than great. You don't have to make sense to others as long as you make sense to you. That's it for today. Ik ga het hierbij laten. And I see you in the next video. By the way, before I forget, I've created a book that you can read with all kind of perspectives and how I look at things and stuff that you can actually use in your own life. And then I have a full integration guide that makes sure that you never have to question which steps you have to take to become a complete master of yourself. So if you are interested in that, link in the description, and I see you in the next video.